Hello and welcome to Millwall Fan TV. This is your pre-match prediction for Millwall's upcoming game on Saturday against Coventry. Before we start the video, if you could hit the like button and subscribe to Millwall Fan TV, both are always massively appreciated. First of all, it feels great to be back filming a video about Millwall playing, doesn't it? Obviously, the last two games have been postponed due to COVID-19. Watford and Bournemouth both have been rearranged. The Bournemouth game will now take place on Tuesday the 12th of January and will kick off at 7:45, and the Watford game will take place on the 26th of January at 7:45. Let's start off by talking a bit about Coventry. So I'm filming this video on Wednesday, so I'm filming it on Tuesday, so I'm filming this video before Coventry play tonight. So therefore, I'm talking about Coventry's last game, which was on Saturday. So we'll start off by talking about that. Coventry drew 0-0 to Stoke at home. It was a very, very dull game, very, very boring game. But one thing you have to say about Coventry is that at the start of the season, they were very much scoring a lot of goals, but they were also shipping a lot of goals too. Since then, they've tried to make their defence more solid. And it has worked. They have the goals have dried up. They've conceded less and less goals, and they've had more and more sort of clean sheets, and so they're doing well in that regard. But ultimately, they've improved their defence, which ultimately has meant the goals at the other end have dried up too. So they've stopped scoring as many as they were at the start of the season. Which some would say, at least they're not conceding, which. That's a good way of going, isn't it? Build the base around build the base at the back. If the defence isn't conceding any, then you can't lose, can you? So that's a way people would say that's a really good way to go. But the Coventry's one to watch would have to be Hamer. Looks a really bright player for me. Only young, plays centre midfield, but he's everywhere, isn't he? He's up and down the pitch. So he's a real one to watch this Saturday. Against us at St Andrews which is our second trip to St Andrews this year, because obviously Birmingham and Coventry both ground share St Andrews. So let's get into the Millwall side of things now, and let's start talking about the Millwall team and the team that I'd like to see Gary Rowett pick. So here it is. In goal, Bartosz Bajkowski, Marlon Romeo, Sean Hutchinson, Jake Cooper and Murray Wallace at the back. We'll go with Ryan Leonard and Sean Williams to keep their places in the side. Jeb Wallace and Mason Bennett on the wings, and John Daddy Bodvarsson and Tom Bradshaw up top. So there it is. There's your team. Obviously, I've stuck with the same team that drew to Forest and beat Bristol City. Not normally. You wouldn't normally be able to play the same team 3 games in a row because of the hectic fixtures. But the 2 games we've had postponed have meant that we probably might be able to do that this Saturday. One other prospect there possibly could be. I haven't heard anything myself, and I'm just going on reports which said a couple months ago. Obviously Ken Zahor got injured against Preston, and they were originally saying late December. So I'm assuming, hopefully, fingers crossed, that Ken Zahor might and could be in the team on Saturday. I haven't heard anything, but I'm guessing by the reports that came out in October, November, that hopefully Ken Zahor might have come back and maybe made the squad. Obviously, it might be too early for him. He might not make the squad. It might be a sort of still a week away, but he would have to make the squad very soon if he wants. If we were to extend his loan, because obviously his loan runs out on January the 16th, so he needs to prove his fitness, and the only way he's going to do that is by playing. So fingers crossed, because I think he'd be a massive addition to our squad. But we have to see. We'll have to wait and see if he's in the squad on Saturday. Another news to talk about is Troy Parrott. There was rumours in the week that he could be recalled from Spurs. Football Insider, I think, was reporting that. But I read an article this morning from Richard Cowley at the South London Press that Gary Rowett said that he doesn't really know where that's come from, and he hasn't heard. There's been no contact between Spurs and Millwall about that at this time. So at the moment, it sounds like Troy Parrott's staying put, but we'll have to see where that goes, and it could change in January. We're not quite sure yet, and I'm not sure yet. I haven't heard anything. I'm just going off reports. Richard Cowley said, but at the moment, Gary Rowett said that they haven't heard. There's been no contact from Spurs, so at the moment, Parrott seems to be staying put. I guess we just have to wait and see what happens in January, won't we? Let's go to a score prediction, shall we? And I'm going to go for Coventry 0, Mill 2. I'm gonna put it out there because obviously Millwall have had this long break, and it could go two ways. This break, it could the positive way. It could give us that rest we needed, and we could come out fit and firing now after sort of 2 weeks with no games. The other way it could go is that our match fitness levels are down, and it takes a while for us to be able to get our levels back up again. But I'm really hoping it's the first one, and I'm really hoping we come out with a lot of energy and with a lot of determination and grit, the same performance as we saw against Bristol City. And if we do that, there's every chance we win the game. But I'm going to go with 2-0, and I'm going to go with goal scorers. I'm going to go with Jake Cooper, and I'm going to go with Tom Bradshaw to get his third goal in 3 games. So fingers crossed that it will be the score, or just a win will do, won't it? A really tough game, however, at our second trip to the St Andrews this year. Yeah, really tough. If you think you know what the score's going to be, drop it down below, because I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. And thank you also for all of you very kind comments down the bottom. I read them every week. I try and reply to everyone as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate all the support I get on this channel. But hopefully Millwall can get 3 points on Saturday. Come on, you Lions.